Hey guys, and welcome back to 101 episode 14. And today I'm honored to have Dave. Dave, welcome, man. Thank you very much for having me, Joe. So, first of all, I'm totally honored to have Dave here. He will talk about himself. Dave, just so you know, from now on, it's your stage. Okay?
All right.
That's it for me.
So, my name's Dave. I've been training Muay Thai for 15 years, martial arts for about 25, close to 30 years. I have about 20 fights under my belt. I've been training fighters now for about 9 to 10 years. So,
you know, I just want to say something because people at home right now probably will do the math and it says like 30 years, 25 years.
Yeah.
Guys, if you can guess this guy, like, but maybe later he's gonna take off his shirt and then you realize like that. I don't know what he's doing over here. I will figure it out. But exactly how
39 and a half.
39 and a half.
Yeah. This keeps you young.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's crazy. So you said you like did almost 30 years of martial arts, and you did also only like Muay Thai?
No, all sorts of martial arts, like Kung Fu, different types of Kung Fu, you know, with the weapons and all the cool flip kicks that you see on TV.
Like Jackie Chan stuff?
Yeah, that stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so everything under martial arts I've tried. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah. And then like you started to compete, you told me around 18, right?
So
like
competing in regular Kung Fu, I've been doing it for my whole childhood life until like 17, 18. And then that's around 17, 18 is when I started going into the fighting part.
Right.
And it wasn't straight into Muay Thai that I went to. It's this called San Shao. It's Chinese kickboxing. So it's basically like Muay Thai. There's punching, kicking. The only difference is there's wrestling.
So it's combined with wrestling?
With wrestling. So it's like MMA, just without the ground part, and your knees can't touch the ground. So everything is just like the MMA, just when the person goes to the ground, you get back up.
Nice.
Also, it's fought on top of like a platform. So you could throw your partner off the platform or kick them off the platform.
So it's like it's like the sumo.
Yeah, it's almost like that, but it's raised off the ground. Yeah. So I've seen people fall off and break an arm. Yeah, so it gets pretty
bad. Yeah. And so you did that, and how did you do the shifting to?
So right after that, my coach left back to Venezuela, and so I kind of gave up on it. Plus, I wanted to focus on making an income. So I started working, but then I was like, all right, I need to get back into it. San Shao, Chinese kickboxing wasn't really around in New York, so I went to the next thing I knew about, Muay Thai.
Okay.
And then that's when I first made my first trip to California to train with a very famous gym in California. And I started just came back, found a gym here, and used that as like a second home here. But I would go back to California, go to Vegas, Thailand, and train, come back. And
how many times have you been in Thailand?
I've been to Thailand 3 times.
3 times? And what's the period for?
About like 4 weeks.
4 weeks? Yeah. Because I heard about Thailand, that if you go to Thailand for 4 weeks, you have like 6 hours of training, something like that.
So you wake up in the morning about 7 a.m., you do your morning run, which I never did. I hate running. And I always tell people that. They're like, no way. I was like, the people used to run, I used to wait till they come back, and I run right behind them.
Okay.
So you do your run, you come back, 2.5 hours training after that. So that includes like hitting the bag, hitting pads with the trainer, and then clinching or sparring.
Okay.
And that happens again in the afternoon. And the afternoon is always harder because it's so much hotter.
Yeah.
So that's...
you do it outside?
All the gyms are outside. So it's like, it's like under a roof, but it's outside.
I think the core value over there, it's like something that, like I see them, they look. That's about like special because they look like skinny, and they're like strong here, mentally, it's crazy. But
So they have to be strong because the reason why they're fighting is because they're fighting for money. So it's a very different mentality going in. They're fighting because that's the only money they're getting. People outside of Thailand fighting, we fight because we love it. So it's very different.
Right.
There's a difference when you have to do it because you have to, and then do it because you like doing it. They might be skinny, but also the food, their genetics, they're just not meant to be big people.
Yeah.
Also, they care about being light because they want to make a weight class. So you don't see like a short Thai with a lot of muscle because then he's gonna have to fight guys who are like a foot taller than them. So they always keep them very lean because they want them to fight a very lightweight.
But I think it's about the weight. It's in all the type of competing martial arts, right? Crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're done with the talking. I want to do today.
So I'll start from beginners. With beginners, I usually start like any sport. You know, you want to start with the very basic. We start with like stance. All right. So with stance, I usually have people stand and have a mirror in front of them. I tell them to take a step, shoulder length, take a step back. A lot of people would always go right back like this, right, and narrow stance, and that's not really for Muay Thai.
That's happened to me.
Yeah,
but
if you do boxing is more, staggered, right? But the problem with in Muay Thai, you can't be staggered because your kicks are going to be a lot harder to get over. Plus, you can't block the kicks.
Right.
So in Muay Thai, we're a little bit more square, right? And that way we could block the kicks, and our kicks will come. If I'm here and I do a right kick, I have a lot of distance to travel.
I get it.
Right. So the stance is a little more different in Muay Thai, and the hands are a lot higher. All right. In boxing, you could have it here and you'd be fine because of the style, the way you move. But in Muay Thai, we have it all the way up here, and we don't close the fist. We have hands open, right? Okay. Because in Muay Thai, punching is not that important. Punching is actually the lowest point in Muay Thai.
Right.
So we keep the hands open because we like to catch kicks. We could catch kicks. We could catch arms. You know, we're trying to catch the arms for elbows and stuff. So, and that's another reason why we have the hands up all the way to our temple. If I have my hand here, a kick comes here, I'm gone. That's it. Right. So I have to have the hands all the way up here to protect.
That's good dreams.
Yeah. So it's a little difference with boxing and Muay Thai. The punches are very different. We don't worry about snapping it back. Right, and boxing is like boom. I want to come back because I want to get back to protection. In Muay Thai, I have to do it very long. So if you ever see like Muay Thai, they always like do everything super long, and it's like a slower retraction. Because if I throw the punch, I come back really quick like a boxer.
Yeah.
The person advances and he kills my distance, and now I can't kick. Right. So if I throw a jab at you and you're coming in, you just kill the distance. But if I throw a regular Muay Thai punch and you come in, you're jammed right there.
Oh,
boom, it's slower. You're right in distance with my kick. But if I snap and I draw the kick, you're already close my distance.
I don't want to go jammed there.
But you know what I mean? So that's why everything's a little longer and a little more extended.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to draw long so that they're at the end of my kick. Right. And everything we do, the legs are longer. Right. I always tell people, especially beginners, to understand distance. Just look at it as like a battlefield. You want your longest weapons to go first, right? Then when they get past your longest weapon, you have your second line of defense, all right? And then your last line of defense. Okay. So first line of defense is the longest for Muay Thai is the push kick, which we call the teep.
Okay.
Okay. So because this is the longest, I always say the legs are the longest. Those are your arrows, all right? So if you draw a line, if they get past the line, and you want your defense is always the kicks. And your push kick, teeps. Okay. They get past that, the second line of defense would be your punches. All right, so you can't throw a punch and expect to throw a kick because the arrows will go right over your head. Same thing with the kicks. If I could punch you, I shouldn't be able to kick you without getting return hit back. Okay. All right, so I start with kicks always first, all right, to set the line, to know my distance. All right, if they get past that and you guys decide to play a closer fight, it's the hands. After the hands, the knees, all right? And after that, you have the elbows, all right? And elbows is very different than any other strike because it's so dangerous. You know, you don't have to knock someone out to win a fight in Muay Thai. You could just cut them. Exactly. All right? So, and with the elbow, it's more, you care more about the defense. So whenever you're really close, you know, worry about the defense more than the offense because it's easy to hit someone, but it's also easy to get hit. It's easier to get hit.
Did you
I've gotten plenty of elbows and like you can see this one's the newest one, but I have about 3 all over the place. And this is all with protection.
What do you mean?
With elbow pads.
Oh, that's
these are all with elbow pads.
With the pads?
Yep, with pads. Yeah, I'll show you the pads and you'll be like, how did this happen with pads?
Man.
So and before I used to fight in the U.S., you had to wear elbow pads for fights. Now, but you know, now that with UFC and everything, passing the laws in the New York everywhere, pros don't have to wear it. Yeah. So like one of my fighters who won the WBC belt, he did a spinning elbow and cracked the guy open like this. Yeah. Man. So that's why like elbows is the last line of defense for distance, but it's the most dangerous one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying like you compared all the like the
So like the battlefield.
Yeah, it's like a battlefield. Like I heard like Muay Thai. It's like all built on real stuff, you know, like to survive, because what we did like in Israel, let's say Israel, we have Krav Maga.
Krav Maga, yeah.
So Krav Maga also built on you know the concept of finish it the quickest we can, you know, and with no like no beauty or stuff. It's not all the no rituals, you know, just if you can do it with the both eyes, it works. Exactly. Yeah. So it's also kind of the.
It used to be like that, but because of the whole gambling in Thailand, it completely changed the way they fight, right? Also, because of the gambling, they changed it. All Muay Thai is very pretty, so it works because it works, right? Also because it's used all the time in the ring, but it's made to be pretty, right? So like if you, I trained in Holland, and like they know I do Muay Thai, they're like, yeah, Muay Thai is so beautiful, and I didn't really understand what they meant until I trained with them and I see the difference. You know, Holland is more like bop, 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 go. But Thai is more like everything has to be perfect, you know. Like if you block a kick, it has to be a clean block. So like score, like I said, it goes back to the gambling and the everything has to be perfect. So if I throw a kick and I don't lift my leg in time, it hits my arm here, that's a point for the person who kicked it. But in the kick, but if you go anywhere else in the world and you throw a kick and it lands on the arm, they call it a block. Right, so it's not perfect. So that's the difference with Thailand and everywhere else. Thailand has to be perfect, you know. So like the scoring system is very specific in Thailand. Yeah, so like even it took me for a long time to watch a Thai fight, and I'm like, oh, this guy won. No, this guy won because he landed like one clean kick. So it's very different. Again, it comes down to gambling. So
you know, money change a lot of stuff. You know,
So the Muay Thai works, but it is very pretty. And you know, from outside, you're like, oh, that's how it's supposed to be done. It's like, it just depends how you look at it. It's just because I'm in it and I understand it. But yes, it works.
Sure.
But I do notice a lot of Krav Maga schools in New York. They adapt to Muay Thai.
Really?
Yeah, so a lot of Krav Maga schools in New York, they actually have hired Muay Thai trainers to teach stand-up.
That's great. That's nice. Okay, so let's go back to it. So you said like the first, for the beginners, let's say. So you said like the first line of a defense or attack, you said about it's the kicks.
The kicks.
Because that's the longest. Like the longest.
Yep.
And then it's the
hands. Oh, well, the hands after, the knees, and then elbows.
Yeah, but also you talked about like the reach.
Yep.
What's the difference? Let's say like I'm come from boxing. Okay, so I know like this, right?
So boxing is, you guys worry about retracting. Mine is more stiff. Right? Boom. I care about the finish. I don't care about the defense after. Right? So boom. I'm a little more stiff. Boom. So like when we hit the bag.
Also the first jab supposed to be like
like we don't really because the jab is for boxing, that's your longest reach. So it has to be fast. Our equivalent to that is this. Right? Because this is longer. Right? So I don't need this to be the fast move when I have this. So that's the jab for us. So we don't have to throw that. We do have it. So like let's say we get to the part where the later rounds and both of us aren't big kickers and we're this close, then I could throw the jab. But if I'm back here and I throw that jab, I'm gonna eat a kick before I get there. Right? So again, that's distance. So depending on how far you are, right? If I get past the first line of defense already, now I'm past your kicking distance. Now I can work a boxing jab because that's your boxing distance.
I get it.
Right? So it depends how far you are. Right? Again, if I'm over here, my punch is out the window. Now you have to play the next line of defense, which is your elbows and your knees.
Which are the most damage.
The most damage because there's no pads on your knees and elbows. So that's another reason why Thais don't really like to punch that much. There's so much padding here. There's none here on your knees and your feet. So
it's all about tactics. Also, it's like a chest.
Exactly. And it's with Muay Thai is a lot of tactics. Later, the more advanced you get, the more strategy there is. Right? It's like if you ever watch a Muay Thai fight in Thailand, it's very slow first round. There's almost like no action, right? Because they're trying to build the strategy. You don't want to go out there and throw everything because the other guy's gonna know exactly when you're gonna throw. So you really want to just go there and like do minimum. just touching, just seeing their reaction. So I do a teep, what does he do, right? So now if I know he goes to block my teeps, I fake and I go,
Okay.
right? Or I fake and I kick. I see, it depends what the reaction is.
Yeah.
So it becomes a very deep chess match.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So,
Because people like, I guess people watch at
Yeah.
home, you know, they watch boxing, they watch
Yeah.
Muay Thai, they're watching like two
Yeah,
people
yeah,
hitting each
yeah.
other, and
Yeah.
they don't realize like how many strategy and tactics
it's a lot of
behind,
strategy.
like
Yep.
so that's why like, so let's do it like for people, if we would say like, I wanna give exercise for a beginner, so
Okay.
we're gonna do it like you said,
Okay.
how I can combine it with let's say fitness stuff.
So I'm gonna have you do it then. Okay, so I'm gonna get you a pair of gloves.
Be good.
Cool. All right. So first step, usually when I tell someone to measure the bag, is put your left leg out, right, and see how far you are.
So
Yeah.
So-
So yep, that's it. And in Muay Thai, put your leg out. Just hold it first. I'll explain. The knee has to be up, higher than the foot. Okay. You're kicking with the ball of your foot. Exactly. All right.
What do you mean?
Yep, that's it. So the knee has to be higher than your
the
foot.
knees, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So you don't want to extend. So in the other arts, you extend your leg to finish.
Okay.
In Muay Thai, you don't really want to extend. All right, you extend. It's very different. You
Okay.
could follow them if you have your knees bent. All right, so that's where your distance is. So exactly where you are
Okay,
is how far you want to
great.
be. All right. So I just usually with beginners, everything is about repetition. Right. So we'll keep it very simple first. I just want you to start with that left leg in front. All right, hands up. Good. All right. So, good. You can put it back down. Elbows are going to be slightly flared out. All right.
Okay.
So it's like this. All right. Boxing is here. Muay Thai is right here.
Okay.
Okay. So all I want you to do right now with the legs, all right, is you're going to kick that 10 times.
10 times,
Easy.
like
Yep.
with the tip?
Yep. That's it.
Okay.
So just lift, kick. 1. That's it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. And then we're going to go for right.
Okay.
Okay, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Keep that.
I'm gonna edit that.
Yeah. 10. Good. Okay. So one thing I didn't explain for the kicks is there's a counterbalance with kicks. All right. So anytime I kick any kick for now, if I use my left leg, my left hand always have to drop.
Okay.
All right. So,
Okay.
So if I throw my left kick, I always drop the left hand. All right. If I throw a kick, I want to drop my left hand. All right. There's a counterbalance in it because if I throw a kick and I don't drop my hand, I spin. Right.
Okay.
But if I throw my hands with the kick, I
guess
prevent myself from spinning all the way. Plus, I generate more power. Or if I just do a kick like this, I have nothing to get my momentum going. But if I use my arms, I get a momentum going.
Okay.
All right? So you're just going to do 5 more left. This time you're going to drop your hands
Okay.
on the kick. Okay, ready? 1, that's it. 2, that's it. 3, 4, and 5. Good. Same thing with the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Perfect.
Okay.
So that's the difference, all right? And, aim is very important. So usually with beginners, I always say, don't worry about how hard you hit, right? You hit, because you're not used to it yet, you're going to gas a lot faster, and then you do a lot less. So in the beginning, always worry about form, all right? Don't worry about power. So the next kick we're going to go into is roundhouse kick,
Okay.
all right? The goal is to hit the ribs. That's the middle kick. That's the most points scored in Muay Thai. Also, the middle kicks takes away punches, right? If I keep throwing kicks right into your rib, you don't want to throw a punch.
No.
Also, if you have your hands here and I keep doing the kick, the elbow goes right into your ribs, all right?
Right.
So you're going to throw a kick. I'm just going to see you throw a few with the right leg.
Right leg. Okay.
All right, you're going for the letter I. So let's see, just 5 single ones, one at a time. 1. Good. That's it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Not bad. Actually, that's a good Muay Thai kick.
Thank you, man.
Okay, so the
I
left leg.
practiced before, we
Yeah.
scheduled, so I watched them.
Well, that works. So the left leg is a little different, right? You have to switch your legs. The distance doesn't change, right? So I don't want to just flick a kick up there. That's more like karate or taekwondo,
Okay.
where it just flick it, but there's no power. If someone do a kick like this, I'm just going to punch them in the face,
Okay.
right? So to get the same power as you do in the right, you have to switch the legs to throw the kick, all right? So when you switch the kick, I'm still in the same distance as if I'm standing right here to throw the kick. So this is how I know. All right.
Okay.
How you fix the stance after, I don't really care right now. I just focus on hitting the bag. So you're just gonna touch, switch, bop.
Okay.
All right, switch, bop.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. There.
Nope. So one clean step. So this is what you did. You did this.
Right.
You stepped, and when you switch.
Okay.
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 That's it. Yep. And then fix. Good. Good. That's it. 3, 4. One more. Good. Good. Not bad. Yeah. You know how to do it. You got the basics down.
The basics.
All right. So the hands. All right. Again, we're just gonna just get used to it. I think what you wanted. The way I'm gonna have you think about it is, don't worry about bringing the hands back, and I want you to just leave it out there for a little longer than usual. So don't pull it back right away. Boom, boom. Okay. Just 1, 2 for now.
Okay.
Right. Just really sink the punches in.
Okay.
So just let me see. Jab cross like 5 times.
Okay.
So bop, bop, bop. Yep, that's it. Yep, that's it. 1, 2. Bop, bop. That's it. That's it. That's it. Good. Good. One more. Good. This time I want you to add a hook. Okay. The hook is very different in Muay Thai. In boxing, this is a hook. In Muay Thai, you don't want to do this.
Okay. Right.
Okay. So if you throw a hook at me
Second. Sorry.
and turn, I want you to do it the way the boxers do it, right?
The way boxing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want you to do a boxing hook at me. Boom. I kick you. There's no way. There's no defense.
Yeah.
So I'll take that hook here, and I'm gonna take your leg because your turn here. The defense to check leg kick is here.
You know,
All right.
I'm sorry, I was gonna say, like, there was an example.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just touched.
There was an example. He said he's gonna take my leg. Take my leg. He will take my leg.
Yeah. They hurt.
Yeah,
So that's why we don't turn on the hook, right? So on the bag, what you're gonna do is same thing, jab, cross, and you're just gonna turn the arm over.
Okay,
All right?
just arm?
Yeah, just the arm. 1, 2, boom. Your hips turn, but the feet doesn't
Okay.
turn. Okay, because the second I turn and he throws the kick, I lose the leg.
That's it.
All right, so if I boom, I still have the time to lift the leg. All right, so I just want you to try to jab, cross, hook, and just turn the body, but don't turn the leg.
Okay. Okay, that's a big shift actually.
Yeah.
Like 1,
Bum,
2.
bum. Yep. Bum. Yep, that's it. Good. 1, 2. Bum. Good. That's it. Bum. Bum. Good. Bum. Bum. One more. Good. Okay. So boxing is this. In Muay Thai we do this too, but in Muay Thai we tend to like to do it like this more. All right. So this allows you to do it a lot longer.
Okay.
All right. And another reason is because the elbow is already there. So if I throw it, I could step in and hit the elbow, right? If I throw it like a boxing hook and the elbow this way, doesn't work the same. It squares off, right? But the second I turn it this way, the sharp part of the elbow is there and the form is there. Because I don't want to do an elbow like this. I end up jamming myself. So when we do the hook, we just throw it this way, okay?
I never threw a elbow to someone's in the face.
It's a tricky, very tricky situation. If you hit someone in the streets with an elbow, even in self-defense, you could still go to jail.
Really?
Yeah. I had a student who was getting robbed, and he got punched, and he did Muay Thai, and he hit the guy with an elbow and broke his orbital bone. And the guy who was robbing him pressed charges on my student and almost had to go to jail, but you know, the lawyer was like, you could press charges on him. He could go to jail, but you have a full rap sheet. You're gonna go away for a long time, and that's the only reason why he didn't press charges. Yeah, it's So like what you know these days is very scary. So you know, I don't recommend people, like whenever I do self-defense or people have self-defense questions, I say kick them in the nuts. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Kick the nuts and run. That's it.
But also, like, you know, I think like also in martial arts, all the purpose of having the knowledge and the tools is to self-guard, you know, like to prevent the stuff, not to you know,
inflict it. Yeah. But you know, if you only know what you learned and they never told you to not hit someone with the elbow. If I didn't know, my student didn't tell me that, I would have kept telling people elbow someone in the face.
Yeah.
Right, but he told me that. Now I tell people kick someone in the nuts. Yeah,
Right.
so very different. All right, so let's try the hook. Because you've never thrown a hook like that, just be very careful. All right, so don't throw it with power yet. I just want you to feel it. Ba, ba, ba.
Okay.
Okay. Go. One, ba, ba. Good.
Okay.
That's it. Ba, ba, ba. That's it. Ba. Good. One more. Good. That's it. Perfect.
Okay.
All right, so like everything, you just keep adding, right? In the beginning, everything is about combos, just teaching you how to rotate your body from one to another, right? So just like boxing, you go jab, cross, hook, because it rotates your body. It teaches your body to rotate, right? So same thing in Muay Thai. This is usually what I do to teach beginners. You give them a full combo to teach their body to like adapt to the moves, right? So same thing as what you just did. You're gonna go for jab, cross, hook, and just gonna throw the right kick after.
Okay.
All right, and everything. I'm not going forward on all the any of the moves. All my moves are very long. All right. From here, I just pivot. Boom. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Okay.
So let's try that.
That's like that's for beginners.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's beginner.
Good. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3,
and twist. Yep. So everything is twist, twist, twist. I always use my hand to clap because people understand rhythm.
Okay.
So try to get. Don't think 1, 2, 3, kick. All right. It's gonna be pop, 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 pop.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And I always use the clap to
the rhythm. It's
the
like,
rhythm. Yeah.
You know, I also compare it to dance. Like,
Yeah.
You know?
That's always I tell them. Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. So it's like bam, bam, bam.
bam. Yep. And you're aiming for the ribs.
Okay.
A little higher. The letter
Okay.
I.
Here.
Yep.
Okay. I have like trouble with the leg because now I'm not having like the rotation.
Yep. I'm
I feel
gonna.
like,
Yep. I'm watching.
So it's like.
Good. So you're still turning the
like,
foot on the hook. So just think of the main rotation is still coming from the your legs, but you won't pivot. That's all, right? I mean, they're still pivoting on the back foot, right? So one bump, bump, bump. But just think of my hips being the rotation.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going boom, boom, boom.
Okay. So,
Yep. So just think of your trunk rotating.
so it's like.
Ba. That's it. Yep. 1, 2, 3, boom. Good. Bump, 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 bump. One more. Bump, 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 bump. Good.
Okay.
Good. So that's always the first part. The right leg is always easier, right? So same thing with the left kick. I take the hook away so that you're just going left, right, left.
Okay.
Right? All right. So the left kick is going to be 1, 2, switch, left kick, and then back. Right. So bump, bump, bump. Right.
Amazing. Yeah. I think it would be easier for me.
Let's see.
So it's like. Bam, bam.
Bam. Yep.
Okay.
Aiming for the letter I. Go. Bam, bam, bam. Good. That's it.
Oh. You know what? Let me take this off for 1 second. It's like
1, 2, bam. Good. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Bam, bam.
Okay.
So finish the punch first. Yeah, you're rushing the punch.
You know, I'll talk about it later.
Go. Bam, bam. There you go. Good. That's it. Bam, bam, bam. Good. One more. Bam, bam, bam. Good.
Okay.
Perfect. So after the kicks, so you just mix punches with kicks. We're gonna mix punches with knees, but because the long punches and the knees are very different distance, you have to use short punches with the knees for now, right? So the short punches are usually hooks or short crosses where I don't go all the way. Right? If I finish a long cross, it's gonna be too far for the knee. So again, this is for beginners to just let them understand distance. So usually I go for the hook, the knees.
Okay.
Right? So hook, knee, and I'll throw an elbow in there, where it's just boom, just for them to understand short distance. All right. So and then it'll be another one where it's jab, cross, switch knee. All right, and then elbow. Okay. So first one for you, just go for left hook, right knee. All right, and then right elbow. The elbow for now, I just want you to think of it pivoting on this fulcrum right in the middle of your forearm, comes up, and you're coming down as a cut. All right, so don't flatten the elbow and think it's over. Your goal is to go boom and then go through it, just like if I'm cutting. Okay?
Okay. So you say
So let's try the left hook.
left
Yep. Hook, right knee. Boom. So your knee has to come all the way to where my stomach is. So let's say the eye, right? Okay. So face. Let's get in the camera. So when you throw the knee, your hip right now is facing this way. When you finish the knee, it has to be completely that way.
Okay.
Okay. If your knee is facing me like this and you throw the knee, your knee is gonna go up. All right. You don't want that. So like if I throw a knee at you, I'm going into you.
Okay.
So you throw the knee at me. You see how your knee kind of goes up?
Yeah.
So your goal when you hit the knee is have the hip turn.
Okay.
So when I throw the bag, boom. You see how my knee's facing that way?
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So
okay.
go for a try.
Good. So, it's like
Hook, knee. Boom. Good. That's it. So that's a way I usually tell beginners. If you have to turn the head to get the hip to turn, that's fine. All right. So if you want to turn your head to get that hip turning, that's fine. All right. Same rule as before. Anytime you drop the lift the right leg, your left hand drops, but the left hand is up. All right. So you could do it like that.
Okay.
Okay. So, boom, boom. Good. That's it. And it goes right back to your stance.
Okay.
So go. 1, boom. Good. That's it. Bop, bop. Good. Bop, bop. Good. Bop, bop. Good. Give me one more. Bop, bop. Good.
Okay.
So for this one, I want you to go jab cross, left knee. All right. So 1, 2, switch, left knee.
Okay.
Okay. Same idea. Everything else is the same. Let's see. 1, 2, boom. Good. Again. Boom. Good. That's it.
Okay.
Oh, good. That one, the hip didn't turn.
Yeah.
So again.
Oh.
Yep. Boom.
Okay.
So give me the knee. This one's a little trickier for you. So lift your knee up to me. Yeah. So you don't want this bend either. Turn the hip a little bit. Get onto your toes. Yeah.
Toes?
On your toes. Yeah. So that's where you want to be.
Okay.
Okay. So you want to, because you want full extension into your partner, right? If I keep my foot flat, it's like I stop myself. I want to extend my toes so that I go into them. Okay?
Okay.
So let's try 3 more of those.
So, we said
Jab cross. Jab cross.
jab,
Yep.
cross.
Switch knee. Yep.
Now, when I switch knee, okay.
Yep. Boom. Good. That's it.
Okay.
Boom. Boom. Good. That's it.
We'll fall again.
That's okay. Boom. Good. That's it. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the second, right? The last part will be elbows, right? There's a lot of different elbows, but I'm just going to teach you 2 very basic ones, right? So when you face me, so usually we pepper people. This is how I usually explain the first elbow, right? If I throw hands, usually people guard up, right? That's what we look for in Muay Thai. When someone just guards up here,
Okay.
that goes right through, right? So that's why you see Muay Thai, we don't do this. You see a lot of this going,
Like that.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
so you always see this. There's a reason why. Because I could do all this, now you're in trouble. Your hands
Okay.
go out the window, right? Also, put your hands up for a boxer. You have no punches.
Right.
Punch.
Okay.
Yeah, right. But I have my elbows.
Yeah.
So that's why you see Thais do that and they don't care about punching. Because all they put their hands on your hands and it's a lot harder for you to throw your punches.
Right.
So the first elbow, the way I always teach it is just this. Left elbow goes right through my guard and just pretend you're combing your hair as you step in. All right? So because I'm way too far for the elbow now, you have to kill that distance with a step.
Right.
So all when you do is you're going to turn all the way. This thing goes right above, like I said, comb your hair. So it goes to the side and that goes right up my face.
Okay.
All right? So go do the step. Boom. But I won't come close. Yeah. Come close enough to like miss.
Okay.
Go. Boom. That's it. Yep. And then back. That's it. And I always tell them to do the step because that way they understand they have to kill that distance.
Yeah.
All right? Boom. Good. And then back. Boom. Good. And then try that right. Boom. That's it. And then back. Good. Yep. One more. Good. All right. So those are the basic ones.
Okay.
All right. So I always chain at least 2 together because that way they understand controlling the hands. So I always like to teach 2 elbows in a row. So the first one is the up elbow you just did, right? Because it pierces the guard. It's easy to learn. So put your hands back up. So I always combine these 2. I always go up for 1. All right. Then I have my right hand. I cup here. So keep it here.
Okay.
Right? The hands are up. I go for the wrist. Right? I control them. I push this down. Again, I say it's like a fulcrum here. As I push up, this comes up, and that's when I have the elbow. All right? So again, I go up, boom. Okay, so you're going to go for that. Up elbow,
so
first one. Boom.
Up.
Good. Then you're going to control my wrist here. Push this down as it comes up, and you're going straight into it. All right, so go. One, hit my hand with the first one. Yep, go. Boom. Good. Control the wrist. Nope. So I actually want you to cup that. Yeah,
really?
you see?
Like
Yeah, yes. You want to catch that.
Okay.
Because you have this. All right, so boxing, Muay Thai gloves are a little different. You have a big cup here so that you could catch.
Okay.
Okay. So first one. Boom.
Oh.
Good. Control. Push it down.
Push it down.
And this elbow comes up.
Okay.
Boom. Okay.
Push it down.
Yeah. So it's one smooth move. It's like this. Boom.
Okay.
Okay. So up elbow. Hit me with the first one. Boom. Boom. Okay. So again. Boom. Boom.
Okay.
Okay. So that's how I usually teach the elbow, just to get into it.
Amazing, man.
Cool.
Okay, so this is like
so that's the first.
The,
yeah. So we got past the first. Like I said, because Muay Thai has so many different elements. You have elbows, knees, punches, kicks, low kicks. There's a lot to go over just for beginners.
Crazy.
To go into second, that's when they start doing more contact. Instead of landing on the bag, the pads, you land it on your partner, because then you actually have to aim it, right? So when I had you go to the bag, I kept saying the letter I, because that's your ribs. So for me to go against someone taller, I will have to kick a lot higher, but I'm not going to do that on the bag. When I go against him, I have to adjust my height.
Exactly.
All right, so that's why the intermediate is to go against other people.